Mhm. Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. For those of you that are watching later, thank you so much for joining. Hi, Lori. How are you? I know, I'm glad you're here too. I have been trying to get on live. Hi, my sweet Lorna. We had a baby sick this week, and so I was taking care of my grandson. He wasn't feeling too well, so I couldn't get on, but I am on now. You're getting ready for work? Well, good luck at work. I hope, can you guys see this and hear me just fine? Here's the thing. It's so interesting that we have the full moon in Scorpio today and the sun is in Taurus, right? And so I was just thinking about this, like, this is how I used to do things when I first got on YouTube. Hi, Melissa, how are you? And so I was thinking about that today. I was like, oh, because that Virgo side gets on me. Yes, on both counts. Yeah. So that Virgo, hi, David. That Virgo side is like, they're not going to be able to see it. Can they hear you? Blah, blah, blah. You're used to working on the big computer and have all your software, da, 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 right? And so I'm still trying to overcome that Virgo because it's always going to be in my South Node. But I was reminded today about the Taurus sun, opposite, which is what the full moon is, right? Opposite of Scorpio. This is, thank you, Lorna. Thank you, sister. Taurus is about you being your own resource. Like you not needing anything on the outside, right? And so to bring it to a personal note, it's like I did just fine when it was me on the bed and I was just giving the messages, right? And the fact that I think that I need all of this extra stuff to deliver the messages, to deliver some peace to people, to deliver whatever it is that they're wanting or needing at the time through spirit, through what I'm channeling, through what I'm saying, I'm the resource for me, right? And so that got me really thinking about how this full moon is going to be affecting people. If you think that you need the outside sources, outside resources to do what you want, to do what your path is, to do what you think you need, right? Scorpio is going to show you, not in a good way. It's trying to illuminate who you really are. It's trying to help you understand you can let go of all of this stuff because it's you that are the resource, right? And so wherever Taurus and Scorpio fall for you, that's what this is about. Scorpio is going to bring up your fear, right? Because it's connected to Pluto. It's connected. The house of Scorpio is connected. Pluto rules that house. It rules Scorpio, the eighth house. Like yes, those outside things that you think that you need, those are wonderful. They're great to have, but they're not the resource. You are. You're the resource. You're the one with the talent. You're the one with the gift. You're the one with the soul. You're the one with the spirit. You're the one with the consciousness. It comes from you. And though these outside things are okay and fine, and they make, you may think, when you think you need them, remember what I've said about Pluto. And it's connected to Scorpio, right? The way that I used to work with Pluto, the second you think you need something, it's going to take it away because you don't. You're the resource. That is what Taurus is about. Taurus knows its own resource. It is all within you. And that's what this Scorpio full moon is going to show you, that you have the talent, that it's within you, it's not outside. And Scorpio will show you that. It's going to illuminate you, the sun, right? Does that make sense? So I hope that people understand that. Um, all of this is connected. Do you see how Pluto is connected? It's squaring the sun. So Pluto's going to show you. When you lean too much, what does he do? He's going to show you how you can do it without it. So the way that he shows you that you can do without the outside source is to take it away, right? And that got me thinking about how I was doing this. You don't need all the fancy cameras and all the fancy software. It's nice to have it. And I still have good software and I still have good stuff, but it's not like it was, when I finally get a place where I can like put everything together. I started to going on the fact that, oh my God, I need this stuff to be able to show everybody, right? But I don't. I can do it right here sitting on my bed, sitting on this bed and talking to you guys and getting the message out. That's what this full moon in Scorpio is about. Does that make sense? See how it squared the sun? And yes, exactly. That feeling. Lori says, I know that feeling. You got to understand. That's what this full moon's about. It's about illuminating you. And because it's squared to Pluto, so it's attached to Pluto. Pluto's going to show you. So what I mean by that is he may bring up some fears. He may bring up some insecurities. He may bring up wherever this Taurus Scorpio is for you. He may bring that stuff up, right? And so for probably the last couple of days and into the next 4 or 5 days, he may bring up some insecurities. There's some big changes going on with people, but that's because we had that, we're moving through this. Oops. I'm not sure why this battery's low. Hold on. Just a second. No, it's not low. Oh, it's low on my pen. Sorry. Let me undo this. Let me undo this part. Let me do my pen for just a second, okay? Uh, we're gonna get this. But that's the whole point. See, I can do it without that, right? Like I can still show you. I can still draw. I can still draw if I need to, I think. Maybe not. Maybe not. But hi Cindy, how are you? You no charge pen, right? Exactly. Exactly. One finger. Well, I did one finger, David. It's not doing. David's like, never mind, Cindy. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's not doing. That's okay. It'll come up in a minute. Anyway, my whole point is we're moving through this north node, right? We're moving through this north node. But today, because of the next couple of days and the last couple of days, and the people around me, I see the fears are coming up. I see the insecurities coming up. And all that made me think about this today going on, this full moon in Scorpio. So for Taurus, for Taurus people, it's going to show you, like, remember who you are. Remember that you are the resource. Remember that you have everything within you to get what it is that you want, right? And then for Gemini, it's going to be in your 12th house. You're going to have to feel it. Wait, so find your current position for Pluto and Taurus in our charts. So find out, yes. Yeah, so wherever Taurus is, then you're going to look to where Aquarius is, and that's where Pluto is transiting, not your natal. I'm talking about this is a transit. Okay? Yeah, it's got you triggered. Lorna says it's got me triggered too. Absolutely. So it's got a lot of people on edge because what does the moon do? It illuminates. And what does Scorpio do? Scorpio brings out those secrets. Scorpio digs deep. So these may even be triggers that you didn't even know. Like you knew, but maybe you forgot about them or you didn't realize that that's the way you felt about it. Like that's what could be going on too, right? Patience is virtue. Absolutely. But it's going to like illuminate what is going on. There are some triggers for you. There are some, and these may be things that you didn't even realize, right? Because Scorpio's deep. Scorpio's the secret. Scorpio will pull it out of you. And it's going to show you. It's going to illuminate your your resource, but the way that it does it, because Pluto is connected, right? And because it's part of Pluto, it's going to show you in a way where you feel lack, or you feel like you can't, or you feel like it's not enough, or you feel insecure about. But again, this may be something that kind of surprises you, because you may not even realize that that's how you feel about that, or that's how you did feel about that. You may, it may come up, right? Right. So David's talking about his natal, but we're not talking about natal. We're talking about the transit now. So wherever your Taurus is, David, that's the place that's going to be shown to you, right? Wherever your Taurus is, not the planet Pluto, but wherever your Taurus is, that's right. Your natal. No, you're you're an Aries rising, right? Oh, you said transit. Okay, sorry. So wherever Taurus is, Scorpio is going to highlight wherever Taurus is. So, like for Lori, she says it's a seventh house for her. So there may be something about partnership, Lori, right? There may be something about partnership, whether that's love, whether that's in business, whether that's, if you feel like a cousin is your partner, kind of, you're like twinsies or whatever, your best friend, any type of partnership. There is something that could come up. I'm not saying it will, because everybody's different. I have to look at the chart, but it could come up that kind of makes you feel insecure, or kind of brings out a fear or an insecurity of some sort, right? Or like Lorna said, a trigger, right? So it can be, so Scorpio can bring that out and show you, I am the resource. I am, it may be showing you that you're valuable. So, because Lori, that's your seventh house, you may feel like I'm not valuable enough, right? Or you may feel like they're not of value. It's going to show you something about value or your resources. That's what this full moon's about. But what is this for? So, so we just said all that, right? I just said all that. It's going to bring up those fears, triggers, whatever, right? So the next thing is, okay, it's brought it up. Now what do I do? Right? I feel insecure about it. Now what do I do? It's like me. I'm thinking, I don't have this. I don't have that. I got to show him this. I want to do that. I want to, and then I was like, okay, I see that I don't really need all that. It's about my message. It's about me channeling. It's about my gift. It's about me being the resource. It's about me being the source. Does that make sense? And then I thought, oh, okay. Well, if this is a full moon, then it's about letting go. So I need to let go of that insecurity. I need to work through it. So for me, letting go doesn't mean, oh, okay, I got it and then I let it go. For me, I always think of letting go as working through it, right? Coming to some acceptance with it, right? Coming to, so that because I'm an alchemist, so it neutralizes the energy, right? I'm not fighting against it and I'm understanding it, and then I go further, right? And so what did I do? I realized that, oh, okay, that's just a fear of mine. Trying to be like everybody else, trying to make sure that the YouTube algorithm has me, trying to make sure that, my message is seen, um, with that, me not needing all of this, like every other astrologer has, like every other tarot reader has, like every other YouTuber has, like, I mean, I'm being really honest with you. Remember, I'm about integrity and authenticity right now. I mean, I always have been, but I'm focusing on that because I know that's a big theme for us, right? So it's like, do you really need all this? No. All this, it's nice to have it. And this is me coming to terms with that. It's nice to have it, but they're not you. Their message may be like yours, but it's not your message. It's not what, they're not channeling what you're channeling. You're resonating with a certain within a certain frequency, and so are they. So don't compare yourself. You're not inept. You're not someone who doesn't know what they're doing. You have gifts. You have talents. This is all just extra stuff. This is how I was coming to terms with it. And then I realized, yeah, that's true. I need to give myself more credit. And you guys know my second house, Taurus, my second house, I mean, it's Aries and Taurus, but Taurus in my second house, this is falling in my second house at 4 degrees. It is about me really understanding that I am valuable, right? I mean, because if you look at my resume, my CV, my whatever, it's like full, but I still have this thing. That's what I have to work on during my whole lifetime, right? I mean, I'm almost there. But throughout my lifetime, I was such an overachiever, but I never thought it was enough, right? And that's through my own chart, my own life path. And so I'm telling you this because this is how I'm coming to terms with this full moon. I'm getting really, really deep, right? This is how I'm coming to terms with it. I am the value. I don't need to compare myself to others. I don't need to, like, I've never wanted to be better than others, but I was like, well, my deal is like, am I even enough to give this information, right? Right? So it's like, am I even enough? Are they understanding? Who would want to hear me? I mean, these are things that I've told myself in the past. I'm not there now, but this is me coming to terms. And so maybe this is the last part of me understanding and really setting that in. And with this full moon, the energy is like, you can finally put that to rest, Cindy. You know you're valuable. You know you mean something in this world. You know that people do listen to what you have to say. You know this. It's been proven to you over and over. And so you're not competing against anybody but yourself, right? And so maybe you don't have to compete against yourself anymore. Maybe you just understand now, right? And that's me letting go and coming to terms. What y'all call let go, but I call transmuting that energy. Okay? The ninth house, is that where your Scorpio is, or is that where your Melissa? Is that where your Scorpio is, or is that where your Taurus is? The ninth house is about higher education. It's about understanding something bigger. It's about, long distance travel, right? So you're Taurus, right? So there's something about you trying to understand the worthiness, or that you have the resources of higher education, or maybe that you have the resources to be able to travel, or maybe that you have the resources to be able to educate yourself more, or maybe you feel like you're not educated enough, or you haven't found enough, or you haven't studied enough, or you haven't traveled enough. I mean, something like that could be shown to you, some sort of insecurity, some sort of value system, right? It's hard, but you can do it. I absolutely, thank you, Cindy, for saying that. We can all do it. And trust me, David and Lorna and people that are close to me, they'll look at me like, what? David just shakes his head because he's like, oh my God, here she goes again. Like, you would think that I would never think that way, but in the past I have. And like I'm saying, this is the reason I'm saying it this way is because y'all may be at that point too, where you're like, no, I really get it this time. And not only do I get it, I have been practicing it. And now it's just time for me to transmute it and understand and let it go. I have these habits, like I was doing. I was like, oh, I got to get it ready. I got to do that. And then I was like, no, you're okay. You can just show your hands and nothing else and talk to people and it would be fine. Right? Do you guys understand that part? I'm being personal so that maybe you can see it in your charts, maybe you could see it in your life. There's some sort of insecurity or some sort, and the reason I say that is because of this Pluto square, right? So Pluto's attached to it. I told you guys. Exactly, Cindy. Just be you. I don't have to be anybody else. I don't have to be any other astrologer. I don't have to be any other medium. I don't have to be any other tarot reader. I don't have to be anything. I just have to be me. And trust me, all kinds of people, all of my life have always told me, just it's you. It's not what you know. It's just you. How many times, and y'all have seen this on comments, people that comment, I just love listening to your voice. It puts me to sleep. I listen to your videos over and over just to, because your voice is just so welcoming, just so comforting. It doesn't, I've had so many people say, it doesn't matter what you say, I just like to listen to you, right? But to me, with my Pluto there, I mean, with my Saturn there and all that stuff, yeah, it's very calming. That's what people, you would think that I would get it because people have told me this over and over and over again. I'm like, but I'm not bringing any value. But what value am I bringing? But am I doing enough? But are they understanding? But can I get back to them? But can I, that's me, right? But now I'm understanding, no, you're fine with just being you. And that's what I want each one of you guys to get out of this. Okay? Just be you, in that it's going to bring up an insecurity. Wherever the Scorpio is it's deep. It may be something that you didn't understand or hear or know about yourself, or maybe some of you are there at that point where you do know about yourself, but maybe you finally have put it into practice or just need to be reminded, because it's going to illuminate it, right? And then you finally realize, like Lori was saying, if she's the ninth house, who was it? Was it Lori or Cindy that said they're the ninth house? Maybe today or for the next couple of days, you finally understand. I have plenty of education and knowledge in the spiritualism or in the occult or in the traveling. I have plenty. I am my own resource. And whenever I want more, I can just have more. But I don't need to have more because I need to like do something bigger or better. I already have that. I already am that, right? That bring on great teaching. Yes. Yes, exactly. So I'm hoping that each one of you for this full moon understand that. Understand that you are the resource. Understand that you are valuable. And whatever is triggering you, like Lorna said, whatever's triggering you, I hope that you see it. I hope that you finally come to some acceptance of you. Higher education has been a big trigger for me lately. See, that's Melissa. So Melissa, you were the ninth house, right? That's what I'm saying. It's a trigger. It's like Scorpio's gonna pull it out and say, what is that deep, remember Pluto, what is that deep thing that you are fearing? What's the deep thing that you are fearing? And then I am going to show it to you through the full moon, so that, remember I said the universe works with us, right? So that you finally see it. And in this energy, I'm going to help you let it go, transmute it, work with the energy. Does that make sense? All that makes sense? Okay. I can't stay on too long. We do have a sick baby in the house, but I wanted to explain this stuff to you guys. So I'm going to go over really, really quickly. The first house is your identity. And this is for people who are watching later. The first house is your identity. The second house is your value and your resources. The third house has to do with your siblings or your skills. Okay. Younger workers think I won't be able to do the job. I outshine them. Absolutely, Lori. I believe that. I absolutely believe that. The fourth house has to do with, getting back to this, the fourth house has to do with your roots, your connection, where you came from, how you act and how you act different from your DNA, from your roots, right? So that may be triggering to some people right now. The fifth house has to do with the romance, with your children. The sixth house has to do with your everyday stuff. There may be something that triggers you in your everyday stuff. It's too much work. I'm not doing enough. Maybe I'm doing too much. Da 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 da. That's the sixth house. It also has to do with your health and well being, and that's a big thing. Am I taking care of myself? Am I eating right? Am I doing the right thing? It may be triggering. Whatever it is, Scorpio is going to show you. Okay. Seventh house, your partnerships. We already went over that. Eighth house, your contracts with your partners Am I doing the right thing? Are they doing too much? Am I doing too much? Is it balanced? Is it equal? Right? Ninth house. We discussed the ninth house. It's about the higher education. Do I know enough? Do I have enough? Am I enough? Um, I want to travel and I can't, or I've traveled too much and people think that, and blah, 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 blah. You know that. The 10th house, this has to do with your career. Are they seeing me for everything that I am? Am I doing too much and not getting paid enough? Something is going that's insecure that's going to be brought to you, right? 11th house. My groups. Do I belong to the right groups? Do I have the right people around me? Do I know enough about the internet? AI is coming up. Do I know enough about that? Am I always going to be behind? Da 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 da. The 12th house. This is something that you can't see, but it is a feeling. This will come through your dreams sometimes. Okay. Yeah. Sleepless nights. Whatever this is, my hope for you and my energy that I'm giving out is that you all finally see it so that we can transmute it because we've got so many other things to do. We've got so many other things to do. You see all this? We still have to go over all of this. We're going to go over all this another time. We've got, remember, and trust me, just because I say this stuff doesn't mean I don't make mistakes either. Like, the day that I told y'all not to be afraid, I totally did the opposite. And then I looked back and I was like, dang it, I was supposed to just do it. Remember, I told you guys I came to do it with you. So, just because you make a mistake or you think that you make a mistake, there are plenty of other times to do it. But I tell you these things so that you can work with the energy, right? Where the energy is at right now and why these things are coming up, right? So, I hope this helps. I want you guys to be able to transmute it or even just be able to begin to understand why it is that the things are coming up for you. What it is that you are really trying to get to through your path, right? Sending healing vibes to your bed. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your time and energy. Thank you so much, Lori. I appreciate it. And I really was hoping that I could stay on longer, but I can't. He's been a really sick baby. He's my grandbaby, and he needs his big G. I love you guys. I am just know that I'm doing my best to get on here as many times as possible. I think we're almost over the hump where he's going to be feeling better, and then I can get back on here. Um, yeah. So, because we've got a lot of changes going on here too. Not only did, he get sick, but my daughter started her new job. So, yeah. Anyway, I love you, love you, love you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for being here. I appreciate each one of you. And those of you that are watching me later, I want to thank you too. Thank you for liking, for sharing, for always supporting me, for leaving comments, for sending me love. And I wish the same for all of you. It's 333. Excellent. Bye, guys. See you later. Bye. Now, let's see. Hopefully, I know how to undo it. 'Cause, uh, talk to you later. Good night.